Hey, this is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. Quick video showing the results of a dismissal. This couple that was being sued by a debt collector. We actually prepared everything. They won. Uh, the husband was getting sued for 254614 by a payday loan place, and the wife, which I'll show you in a second, was $1,981.88, and we actually saved them from having to pay $4,528.02. And I'm not going to go into full detail about what strategy we used. I'm just going to let you know that it can happen if you stand up for your rights against these third-party debt buyers. So here's the proof here, showing you that it was dismissed, and I'm going to show you the wife's dismissal. And here is the proof of the dismissal for the wife, $1,981.88. Now I'm going to kind of go into a little bit about the details about both of these. And I made a video not too long ago stating that this specific debt collection company lawyer that they hired actually went and did a step two where they were trying to make it harder for the individual to fight for their rights. And also, before I forget, the on the email when the client emailed us these two dismissals, they stated that the court clerk actually said to them, gave them like a thumbs up. They got to remain impartial, but the clerk said thumbs up for initiating your rights. So uh, when I was reviewing what happened with this one for the wife, she was just straight up being sued for credit card debt, and but it was purchased by a third party debt collector, Calvary SPV1 LLC. And we just basically answered the summons, making them prove everything that they're claiming. They came back and they wanted a more detailed, they made the complaint where they wanted to dig into the responses that was put together for, that she made. And so we had to answer that. It was about 20 different questions, and you could tell by the way that they were making those, asking those questions, they were trying to make the individual either quit or, get slipped up and say, admit to something that they didn't want to admit to. So we were able to handle that. The proof, this is the end result, saving her $1,981. Now, going back to what happened with the husband, this one here, and I'm going to bring up this because I think that this you'll find this interesting. Okay, while I was reviewing the summons that the client has sent over, something that came to my mind from what had happened with another client here in my area, where I had noticed that the payday loan company, the way that they were doing their loans, they were actually breaking the law. They were charging too much interest, but the way that they figured it, it would be hard for an individual to really know that they were breaking the law because you're just making payments and you're rolling over the loan. Well, this is what I found with the state of Missouri payday uh, lending for considered legal. Now it says Missouri has a limit on the amount of payday loan that a borrower can take, $500 or less. Loans can be taken from 14 days to 31 days. All interest and fees should not exceed 75% of the initial loan amount for the life of the loan, plus all renewals. Six rollovers are officially allowed by the state law. All criminal actions against borrowers are prohibited. So they can't do any criminal action against you. That's obvious. But what they were doing when I had looked up how they were rolling over this individual's loan and the amount of interest that they were charging, they were actually in violation. Now, what I believe happened was because the plaintiff attorney didn't even show up to the final hearing. But what I believe happened is that Easy Pay Cash or Easy Cash ASAP LLC made a decision not to fight this because they could lose their ability to even do payday loans in the state if they were to try to fight this here, because they were going to get caught with how they were making their loans and how they were doing illegal rollovers and all of this stuff. And so I wrote in this one, I didn't even really respond to the amount. I put in here what I saw was an issue on what they were actually doing, that they were actually violating. So this loan violated the maximum loan amount per 31 days. Interest was more than 75% of the initial loan. And then I put the section of their law that stated that, and it said it refers to payday loans. And so we could see the end result of what happened. So what you can do if you're facing some issues with a payday lender, and this was actually this one here was not sold to a debt collector. This his was not sold to a debt collector. This was where they just hired a lawyer to go after him. So this was actually beating this company. Hers was sold to a third party debt collector. So if you ever have any issues with payday loan companies, and I understand, what you borrow, you should pay back, but you should not be taken advantage of if they're breaking the laws pertaining to the amounts that they're supposed to be lending. Every state has a different law on the interest rate, which is this is high. It cannot exceed 75% of the original. So that's still high. And then also the amount of rollovers that is allowed. Like they don't want you just rolling over and rolling over, because if you do that, what happens is that when you roll over, that interest becomes principal. So you may have had a loan for 300, and then now, and that was the principal amount, and then you had the interest. Now, when you rolled it over, you might have a $600 principal, and now you're paying interest on $600. So you can see how that could just be a never-ending cycle, and they just don't want people dealing with that. All right, if you need help with responding to debt collectors, or even having getting sued by the original creditors, we'll at least take a look at it and tell you your options. You can send us an email at support@thecreditrepairshop.com, and just make sure you include the full court summons or citation so we can do a good review for you. Also, the link is below here if you know that you have a third-party debt collector, and you do need to give us at least 4 to 5 days to be able to prepare it and respond for you. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different. You'll see the links below this video. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the website your3scores.com to grab those. And if you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. And please make a donation when you do that, because it can save you literally hundreds or thousands of dollars if you have the right documents to respond to debt collectors' letters when they send you that first 30-day letter. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams with thecreditrepairshop.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. Thank you.